Hey folks, today I'm going to be talking about prioritization because it's something that many people struggle with. Depending on your role, if you're an executive, you're a VP, you're a business owner, or you're a manager, or you lead people, prioritization is something that many people struggle with. And so how do you actually prioritize effectively? And I'm going to give you some key points here that you can put into place immediately. This is something that doesn't cost any money. You can actually start to do it today. So the first one is you have to have clear goals. There is no way to prioritize effectively unless you have clear goals. And those goals are very, very important. Why? Because not only do they direct your resources, but they direct your thinking. So one of the challenges with prioritization is that sometimes we feel overwhelmed. We may feel foggy at times, and we may just feel stuck. And the reason is because we don't have clarity. When we have clarity, we don't feel stuck. We feel like we have clear direction. And so having clear goals, well, those clear goals are a prerequisite. They're an absolute must. And those clear goals must be, for example, a 1-year goal or a 1-year goal that's been broken down into subsequent goals, maybe quarterly goals, maybe weekly goals. But you have to have clear goals because the next step is very dependent on that, is that whatever you are doing throughout the week or throughout the day, 80% of that, so when you're taking a look at what to prioritize, you have to take a look at, does this activity directly or indirectly lead to me achieving my goals? Okay, so that's why goals are so important, because you can't go on to the next step without having effective goals. So then you determine, does whatever it is, let's just say having this particular meeting, does it tie directly to achieving that 1-year goal that I have? If it does, great. If it doesn't, you got to rethink that. So that's not on the top of your priority list. And if it does, let's just say, then you have to ask yourself, does it directly link to that goal or indirectly? So does this meeting directly enable me to achieve that goal? If it does, it sits on the priority list higher than if it was indirect. So that's very, very important. This is a systematic approach to prioritization. Now, one of the biggest pushbacks that we get is, hey, I have so many things on the plate that, I can't, not everything aligns with my goals, and that's okay. That's the reality of life. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes you have to put fires out. Not every single thing is going to align with your goals. However, there is a rule of thumb that 80% of what you do, of what you prioritize in particular, must align with your goals daily and weekly. So what does that mean? That means that if you are doing things that are under the 80%, so let's just say only 50% of the work that you are doing, the tasks that you're doing, is in alignment with your goals. 50% is not. You are under that threshold. You have to have at least an 80% threshold. So everything that's on your calendar for the week, if you take a look at it, if you add it up quantitatively, 80% of that should be aligned with your goals. If it's any less than that, then you have to change your week or change your day, whatever you're doing, to hit that minimum threshold. So that gives you a 20% window to do things that aren't aligned with your goals. And that way you don't feel so guilty. That way you have to deal with those other things. That's just a part of life. That's just a part of work as well. The next step is then when you take a look at what is the impact that this activity has. So when you're taking a look at these different things, so 10 different things, for example, and you're going down the list to say, what should you prioritize? Let's just say if there's competing priorities, you're like, I don't have enough time. I have to pick 1 or 2 of these 10 things. Pick the one that has the biggest impact that's in alignment to your goals. The biggest impact. Okay, so that way you are making more progress towards your goals as you select the things that have bigger impact. That's another factor for prioritization. And then the fourth element is to take a look at what I call things that you are the best at doing, things that you get paid to do, and the things that you enjoy doing. Those are 3 prerequisites. You have to meet at least one of them. If you have all 3, you're golden. So you should be doing things that you are the best at doing. If you're not so great at doing it, you should be delegating it or figuring some other way to achieve that. If someone else is way better than you at doing that, you should give them that particular task. The next one is, do you get paid to do it? If you are not getting paid, when I mean paid, I don't just mean monetarily. There could be some other aspects. For example, you can use the same system for your personal life. Perhaps your payment is contribution. Perhaps it's just getting love back for doing something for someone. So payment can be anything. It doesn't just have to be monetary. And then the third part is, do you enjoy doing it? Because if you are doing things that you don't enjoy doing, you're not going to be as effective. You're not going to be performing at that same level. So those are the three things in that particular fourth step. What are you the best at? What do you get paid to do? And what do you enjoy doing? So in summary, here are the things that you need to do. First is have very, very clear goals, right? That's the first part. Second, whatever you are doing throughout the week or throughout the day should align with your goals. At least 80% of the activity should align with your goals. And when you are struggling to choose which ones to do, you take a look at, does it have a direct impact to achieving my goal? Or does it have an indirect impact? If it doesn't have a direct or indirect, you put that off to the side. If it does have a direct or indirect, you choose the one that is direct if you have some conflict there. Then the next step is, what has the biggest impact? Okay, so if you're pressed for time, if you have some conflicts there, whatever activities have the biggest impact in achieving your goals. And then the fourth element is, do the things that you are best at doing, that you get paid to do, and that you enjoy doing. If you take those 4 steps into play for your prioritization, you're going to be way more effective, way more productive, and your productivity and your performance is going to shoot through the roof. And not only that, but you're going to be way more fulfilled and satisfied in life as well.